old-fashioned way of critical thinking. And the book will eventually engage with you. And you have to come to a point where saying, yes, it makes sense or not. Okay? So I will leave that to you and the author of this book. I don't have to worry about it. This is for you. I'm not concerned at all about this. When you engage with this book, you will engage with the creator of this university, author of this book.
Can I have this one as well?
Yeah?
So, I know you probably can't answer this question if you want. I read this and I just thought, it's good, it's okay, yeah, like I have a problem with it, but I still don't have that belief that it's true. Do you think it's just if I would get punished then for that? For trying and I was sincere and I just thought, I just can't believe it.
First, point number one, does it make sense to you? You don't have, after you finish reading, right? It makes sense to you, there is no problem, everything makes sense, everything has evidence, it's not just claims here and there, but you still choose not to believe it. Then there must be a reason.
No, I believe that if you told me there's a tiger in the bag, I'd instantly think if I believe it or not. It's like an internal. Sure. You could say a story that makes sense how a tiger came from the bag. Do I actually inside believe, yeah, there was a tiger or there was not a tiger?
Let me give you a simple answer. If you are sincere, if you're reading the Quran sincerely, if you're asking God, whatever God is, right, whoever He is, wherever He is, to guide you, you will believe. It's as simple as that. The only thing that can prevent you from believing is actually being arrogant towards it. Meaning that you know is the truth. It makes sense to you. There is evidence for it. Everything makes sense, right? But you say, you know what? I'm not going to believe it. I'm not going to ask this deity, whatever it is deity that exists, to guide me, that created me, that created everything, that fashioned me, to guide me, to give me this internal peace, to give me this assurance of what I believe in, right? So this assurance and belief that you ask for can only be given by the Creator. We can stand here with you for millenniums, right? It's not going to change anything until you also open your heart towards the Creator, right? If you be sincere enough and you're reading sincerely, you're not reading with the propaganda, with some eyes of critiquing eyes. No, you're reading sincerely to know, right? You're reading to find out whether it makes sense to you or not. If you are doing that and you ask the Creator, whatever He is, wherever He is, to guide you, I guarantee that you will be guided, right? So the criteria for you to go to hellfire, let us make it simple, right? That you hear the message of Islam, right? You know it's the truth. You will know deep down inside of you, because every person has fitrah. Fitrah is the innate natural disposition that God gave you. It will make sense. It will correlate with your innate disposition. And then die upon rejection, even though it makes sense.
Knowing that.
Yeah, knowingly, you die upon rejecting the message, right? You heard the message, you know it's the truth. Knowingly, you die upon rejection. So that means that you chose hellfire over loving God.
Those are the people who will go to hellfire.
So God did not choose to take you to hellfire. You chose not to believe in God. You chose to go to hellfire. That is the only criteria for you to go. So,
I don't agree with that, but I'm going to go now anyway.
Sure, but do you understand this point? If you realize after reading and studying and reflecting that this is the truth, but you didn't accept it, that shows that for either arrogance or stubbornness, whatever reason, you're rejecting knowing what's the truth. That is one reason people will go justly to hellfire. If you believe and you accept it, then it's like God has promised you and guarantees you to give you paradise. Okay? Because you have now done all your efforts and you are tuned in His reason for your creation, and God's mercy and His grace is what you have now got, because you became the recipient of His grace and mercy, and He will put you into paradise. If you reject it while knowing it, this is called, you know what you've heard of the word kafir? Kafir. Kafir is someone who covers the truth. Yeah? That's why a farmer, in Arabic linguistically, is called kafir, because they cover the seed with the soil. Okay? So if someone knowingly rejects the truth, these are the ones who are destined to go by their own making to hellfire. God is just, He's not unjust. He is the most just. So if you read with an open heart, as my brother said, with sincerity, and ask the Creator to guide you, He will guide you. Guidance is not in our hands. It was not even the hands in our Prophet ﷺ. Only God is the one who guides. No one else can guide.
So just to end this way, right? Hellfire is a choice. It's not something that God gives you, it's a choice that you make. So read.
It's also his choice. Because he can stop at any moment. Any moment he can decide not to.
If he stops you unwillingly, you don't want to be stopped.
No,
you
no,
don't
I
want
mean,
to stop.
I mean when you get there. When you get to Judgment Day or whatever you should call it, he can still decide to forgive you. You met all the criteria.
Is that just?
I don't know. I don't really recall.
Remember we talked about justice?
But he still could though, couldn't he?
Is it just? He could 100%, but it will be injustice. Because if I was, let me give you an example. I was my entire.
Choose to be unjust.
I'm. For example, like hypothetically, I was my entire life, or this person was his entire life praying, doing whatever God commanded him, being good to everyone, taking care of orphans, doing all of that, right? And then God, in the day of judgment, sends him to heaven. And then you come, you kill 20 million people, you raped, you stole, you punched people in the face, you broke every commandment of God, and then God is saying, you know what? Go with him too. Go with him to heaven. Is that just?
It's not just, but can he still do it?
He could, but he will be doing injustice.
Yeah, but it's still his choice to do that, whether it's just or
No.
injustice.
Did God tell you if you do these bad things, you will go there? So who choose to do the bad things, you or God?
Yeah, it's both. I take your point. This is my choice. Okay, but I'm saying it's his choice that when you get there, he can go. I've decided now.
Okay, if I'm a teacher, right, and I tell you study in order to succeed this year, study in order to succeed this year. I have two students. One of them studied. The other one did not study. The one who studied, right, he succeeded, right? The one who didn't study, he failed. Is that the fault of the teacher? This is what you're saying.
No, what I'm saying is,
how is that the choice and the fault of the teacher?
I'm not saying it's just or unjust. I'm saying you can still choose to. You can choose to be.
How is that the choice of the teacher? Did the teacher choose to make the child fail? But he could make him succeed, even though he didn't study, he didn't pass the test.
Would it be just to pass the one who didn't study at all and make them both go to the next level?
If they both pass the test, or if they
No, the one who didn't study at all. And then he says, okay, fine, now there you go, your certificate.
He gives both of them.
I'm not saying it's well. I'm not saying just or injustice.
My question,
he could choose to if he wanted to.
the teacher.
Well, God or the teacher.
Yeah, okay, so if the teacher does that, what would that prove? That the teacher is in Dutch. He wasted all the effort of the child that studied the whole year, and he gave that child that played, that didn't do anything, that chose not to study, the same certificate. So this is what you're asking God to do. The one who did.
I don't know.
You're saying. I mean, you're saying it's his choice, but it's not. It's what you chose to do in your life that led you wherever you are going to go.
So he doesn't help but he's saying that.
No, he lets you.
Right.
What do you mean by asking?
When you get to judgment day, he doesn't take.
He already decided by telling you if you do that, you go to hellfire.
Yeah, so he doesn't make.
He already made the decision. He said if you do this, you will go to hellfire. Who made this decision? He did. But you chose to do that.
What's the idea behind judgment day then? If you've chose to go to hell by your actions, where does judgment day come into it?
No, judgment day is when you see all you've done. That will be when you will see yourself.
Is there a decision made there then on judgment day?
You see,
he says
when you have lived your life, good or bad, you pretty much know, right? Outcome is. If you've been very bad. But some people who do bad and good and so on and so forth. Yeah? So not every decision is understood while you're here on this life. In the hereafter, all your actions will be judged. And your belief, the right one or the wrong one. And the judgment will be given. No injustice will be done that day. The only judge will be God. So in that day, everyone will accept their destination, whether it was hell or heaven. No one will complain. Sure. No one would complain in the things that they have. They will blame themselves, those who have gone to hellfire. Even Satan will, he will do this like, I'm free from, any blame. Why? I only called you to all these things, wrong things, evil things, unjust things. I only called you, I didn't force you, but you followed. Yeah? So even Satan will wash his hands from it. Everyone will blame themselves. That's why we don't want to be in that stage in which there is no helper but God. So we have to now study, from now, reconcile ourselves with our Creator and say, do I want to go to a place where there will be happiness and bliss and joy and tranquility, or do I want to go to a place where there's suffering and misery and pain? We make the decision. You can make the decision.
All right, nice speaking.
Take care.
Thank you very much.
خلاص
Thanks.
جزاك الله خير.